As a physician who has spent decades caring for older adults, I understand how important it is to make every meal count, especially when it comes to nutrition in our golden years. Now, eggs are often seen as a healthy, protein-rich staple for seniors, and in many ways, they are. But here's the concern. When eggs are combined with certain everyday foods, they can quietly harm your body, triggering joint pain, inflammation, high cholesterol, and overburdening your liver and kidneys. I've seen it happen more often than you might think. Many people unknowingly pair eggs with popular items like instant noodles, white bread, or soy milk, thinking they're putting together a balanced meal. But the truth is, these combinations may be quietly damaging your health, especially if you're already managing high blood pressure, diabetes, or arthritis. So today, I want to help you better understand these hidden risks and how to make safer, smarter food choices that support long-term well-being. If you care about your health or that of your parents and loved ones, please watch this video all the way through. And if you find it helpful, don't forget to like and share it with others. Together, we can help more seniors eat smarter, feel better, and live longer. Now that we understand how certain food combinations with eggs can be risky, especially for seniors, let's take a closer look at the most common offenders. You might be surprised to learn that some of the most popular and convenient breakfast or lunch pairings can do more harm than good. Let's begin with one that's a household favorite across Asia and increasingly around the world. 1. Instant noodles, a hidden danger. When paired with eggs. At first glance, a bowl of instant noodles with a poached egg seems like a quick, comforting meal. It's warm, filling, and easy to prepare. But for seniors, this combination can quietly create a storm inside the body. Here's why. Instant noodles are ultra-processed. They're packed with refined carbohydrates, chemical additives, preservatives, and, most concerning, very high levels of sodium and unhealthy fats. Just one packet can exceed your recommended daily sodium intake. That means more pressure on your heart, kidneys, and joints. Now, when you add an egg to that mix, you're adding more protein and cholesterol into an already imbalanced meal. While eggs alone are nutrient-dense, combining them with the sodium and oxidized fats from instant noodles can spike your blood pressure, raise bad cholesterol, and even worsen inflammation in the joints, especially for older adults who may already suffer from arthritis or cardiovascular concerns. Think of it like this. Your body is a finely tuned engine. Instant noodles are like pouring low-quality fuel filled with impurities into that engine. Add an egg, something that could be beneficial in a different context, and the engine still struggles to function. Instead of nourishment, the body receives a confusing signal triggering inflammation, fluid retention, and stress on vital organs like the liver and kidneys. Over time, this can lead to swelling in the legs or ankles, more frequent joint pain or stiffness, higher risk of heart complications, poor kidney filtration and fatigue. Sadly, many seniors turn to instant noodles and eggs simply out of convenience, habit, or lack of information. But once you understand the deeper impact, you'll realize that it's not worth the long-term damage. If you truly enjoy noodles, there are safer ways to prepare them. Choose whole grain noodles, skip the flavor packet, add steamed vegetables, and use herbs or low-sodium broth instead. And remember, not every food that tastes like home is good for your health today. Especially when your body has different needs in your 60s, 70s, and beyond. While instant noodles may be the obvious culprit, some risks are hiding in plain sight, right on your breakfast table. You might be reaching for something soft, convenient, and familiar without realizing it's silently working against your body when paired with eggs. Let's talk about white bread. 2. White bread, a metabolic trap when eaten with eggs. A slice of toast with a fried or boiled egg. It sounds innocent, even healthy, doesn't it? But here's what many seniors don't realize. White bread is a refined carbohydrate, stripped of most of its natural fiber, vitamins, and minerals during processing. What you're left with is a food that behaves almost like sugar once it enters your bloodstream. When you combine white bread with eggs, you're essentially giving your body a confusing signal. The refined starches from white bread spike your blood sugar, and the cholesterol from eggs, though not inherently bad, becomes harder to manage when consumed alongside something so nutritionally empty. This combination can lead to sudden energy crashes and brain fog, increase insulin resistance, especially in seniors with prediabetes or diabetes, contribute to fatty liver, weight gain, and joint inflammation, slow down digestion, leaving you feeling bloated or lethargic. Worse still, many older adults eat this meal first thing in the morning, thinking it's light and simple. But in reality, it starts the day with a glycemic roller coaster, a quick rise, and then a hard crash. Over time, this cycle wears down your pancreas, strains your liver, and fuels chronic inflammation, especially in the knees, ankles, and fingers. And remember, as we age, our metabolism naturally slows down. We no longer process sugars and fats the way we did in our younger years. That's why the foods we used to tolerate well in our 40s may now be contributing to stiffness, swelling, or high cholesterol in our 60s and 70s. So what's a better choice? If you enjoy bread, switch to whole grain, sprouted, or oat-based options that are rich in fiber. These help stabilize blood sugar, support gut health, and work in harmony with eggs rather than against them. You can also pair your eggs with steamed greens, mushrooms, avocado, or even tomatoes. Ingredients that support anti-inflammatory pathways and protect your heart and joints. Eating well in your senior years is not just about what you eat, it's about how foods work together. And the truth is, some harmless habits from the past may no longer serve your body well today. In the next part, we'll explore something sweeter but just as sneaky, the dangers of combining eggs with sugar. Stay with me. We've talked about salty and starchy pairings, but what about something sweet? You might be thinking, I just add a little sugar to my eggs for flavor. What harm could that do? Well, for seniors, this small habit can lead to some surprisingly big consequences. 3. Sugar, a sweet mistake. When mixed with eggs. It's common in many cultures to beat sugar into eggs when making steamed egg custards, soft scrambles, or baked goods. It adds taste and texture, but for older adults, this combination can silently strain the body in ways you may not expect. Let me explain. When sugar is mixed with the amino acids in eggs and then exposed to heat, like during cooking, it undergoes a chemical reaction called the Maillard reaction. While this reaction helps create golden crusts and rich flavor, it also produces harmful compounds known as AGs, advanced glycation end products. And why does that matter? Because AGs accelerate inflammation, oxidative stress, and tissue damage, all of which are major contributors to arthritis, joint pain, nerve sensitivity, and aging of blood vessels and skin. In fact, studies show that high levels of AGs in the body are directly linked to the progression of chronic diseases, especially in seniors. But that's not the only concern. Sugar also feeds harmful gut bacteria, increases insulin levels, and contributes to fatigue, brain fog, and weight gain, especially in the abdominal area, which puts extra pressure on the spine and lower joints. Combine that with the cholesterol and fat content in eggs, and you've got a recipe for sluggish digestion and poor metabolic health. Some common consequences of eating eggs with added sugar include increased gas and bloating after meals, flare-ups of joint stiffness and swelling, elevated blood sugar and insulin resistance, greater risk of nerve inflammation and vascular damage. And here's a reality many seniors overlook. Your body's ability to process sugar declines with age. What seemed harmless in your 30s may now contribute to the silent wear and tear on your bones, joints, and organs in your 60s and beyond. So what should you do instead? Skip the sugar. Let the egg's natural flavor shine through, or enhance it with spices like cinnamon, turmeric, or nutmeg, which not only taste great, but offer anti-inflammatory benefits. If you're craving something sweet, pair your eggs with fiber-rich fruits like blueberries, apples, or pears, which slow sugar absorption and support healthy digestion. Eating for longevity isn't about avoiding all pleasure. It's about making mindful choices that allow your body to thrive. And sometimes, the smallest adjustments make the biggest difference. Coming up next, what happens when eggs meet spinach? Yes, even healthy vegetables can be tricky. Let's take a look. So far, we've talked about processed foods, refined carbs, and sugar, all fairly obvious concerns. But now, let's take a look at something that might really surprise you. Because even healthy foods, yes, even vegetables, can become harmful when combined with eggs in the wrong way. Let's talk about spinach. 4. Spinach, a healthy vegetable that can harm when eaten with eggs. Spinach is often praised as a superfood. It's rich in iron, magnesium, folate, and vitamins A and C. So it may come as a shock to hear that for seniors, pairing spinach with eggs may not be a good idea, especially if you have kidney issues or joint problems. Here's the science behind it. Spinach contains oxalic acid, a natural compound found in many leafy greens. On its own, oxalic acid isn't necessarily harmful, but when it meets calcium-rich foods, like eggs, it can bind with the calcium and form calcium oxalate crystals. These crystals are difficult for the body to dissolve, and over time, they can accumulate in the kidneys, forming kidney stones, or deposit in the joints, worsening inflammation and pain, particularly in the knees, ankles, and lower back. For seniors, whose kidneys are already working harder due to age-related decline, this combination can quietly add to the burden, increasing your risk for kidney stones or chronic kidney stress, joint stiffness or unexplained swelling, gout-like symptoms, even if your uric acid is normal, fatigue, because your body works harder to eliminate waste. You might be thinking, but I thought spinach was good for bones. It is, but timing and pairing matter. When eaten separately or lightly cooked and paired with other vegetables, spinach is incredibly beneficial. But when mixed with eggs, especially in dishes like omelets or egg muffins, it increases your body's oxalate load significantly. If you already have a history of joint pain, back pain, or kidney problems, this combination may be doing more harm than good. So what can you do instead? If you love greens with your eggs, try bok choy, kale, collard greens, or arugula. These are lower in oxalates and offer similar nutrients. You can also pair your eggs with steamed broccoli, carrots, or bell peppers, which help reduce inflammation and support liver and kidney function. And remember, your goal as you age isn't just to eat healthy foods, it's to eat smart combinations that support every system in your body, especially your bones, joints, and organs. Healthy aging is about avoiding unnecessary risks, even when they come from surprising sources. Up next, we'll uncover a common beverage that seems healthy, but becomes a digestive disaster when paired with eggs: soy milk. Stay tuned. So far, we've uncovered how even a beloved vegetable like spinach can become problematic when paired with eggs. But there's another seemingly healthy item that often appears on the breakfast table, especially in many Asian households, that may quietly disrupt your digestion and inflame your joints. Let's talk about soy milk. 5. Soy milk, a digestive trouble when mixed with eggs. Soy milk is widely considered a health food. It's high in plant-based protein, contains essential amino acids, and has no cholesterol. For people trying to avoid dairy, it seems like a smart choice. But when combined with eggs, particularly in the same meal, soy milk can become a digestive nightmare, especially for seniors. Here's what happens. Soy milk contains trypsin inhibitors, natural compounds that interfere with the body's ability to digest protein. Eggs, on the other hand, are rich in high-quality protein, particularly albumin, which is very sensitive to digestive conditions. When these two foods are consumed together, the trypsin inhibitors in soy milk can bind to the egg proteins, making them harder to break down. The result? Slower digestion, which leads to gas, bloating, and discomfort. Protein malabsorption, which can deprive your muscles and organs of the building blocks they need. Especially dangerous for seniors working to preserve lean muscle mass. An increase in gut fermentation, which can worsen inflammation throughout the body, particularly in the joints and lower back. Elevated uric acid levels, especially when eaten regularly, contributing to arthritis-like symptoms or worsening gout. And here's something else to consider. As we age, our digestive enzymes naturally decline. What you could once tolerate in your 30s or 40s may now lead to constipation, indigestion, or fatigue in your 60s and beyond. In traditional breakfasts, like eggs with a warm glass of soy milk, many people don't realize they're triggering chronic inflammation and poor nutrient absorption over time. It doesn't happen overnight, but the long-term impact can quietly erode your health. So what should you drink with your eggs? Instead of soy milk, try a cup of warm ginger tea, which aids digestion and reduces inflammation. A glass of water with a squeeze of lemon, which gently stimulates the liver. Or, if you need a milk alternative, choose unsweetened almond or oat milk, which are gentler on the stomach and don't interfere with protein digestion. The message here is simple. Even healthy foods can become harmful when paired the wrong way. By understanding these interactions, you can make choices that truly nourish your aging body, without unwanted side effects. In our next segment, we'll tackle a rich and creamy favorite, cheese and dairy fat. Why pairing it with eggs could be harming your heart and joints without you even knowing it. We've looked at sweet drinks, refined carbs, even vegetables, all of which can clash with eggs in the wrong setting. But now, let's talk about something indulgent, something many people enjoy for breakfast or brunch. Yes, I'm talking about cheese, butter, and dairy-based spreads, often seen as the perfect partners for eggs. But for seniors, this rich combination may be silently taxing your heart, joints, and metabolism. 6. Cheese and dairy fats, a heavy burden. When combined with eggs, a cheesy omelet, a fried egg with melted butter, scrambled eggs topped with cream. These dishes are comforting and flavorful, but they come with hidden dangers, especially for older adults. Eggs already contain dietary cholesterol and saturated fat. When you add high-fat dairy like cheese, cream, or butter, you significantly increase the saturated fat load, which can elevate LDL, bad cholesterol, trigger arterial stiffness, contribute to weight gain around the abdomen, and worsen joint inflammation, especially in the knees and hips. Here's why it matters. As we age, the lining of our blood vessels becomes more sensitive. High saturated fat intake causes inflammation in the endothelium, the inner wall of your arteries. This raises your risk for atherosclerosis, high blood pressure, and even heart attacks or strokes. At the same time, saturated fats are known to increase the body's production of pro-inflammatory cytokines. These molecules worsen existing conditions like arthritis, gout, or joint stiffness, problems that are already common among seniors. When you combine eggs with full-fat cheese or buttery spreads, your liver also has to work overtime to metabolize all that cholesterol and fat. Over time, this may contribute to fatty liver disease, even in individuals who don't drink alcohol. You might notice increased morning stiffness in joints, swelling in fingers or knees, a feeling of heaviness or sluggishness after meals, and a gradual rise in blood pressure or cholesterol levels. Now, this doesn't mean you have to give up all flavor or richness, but moderation and smarter choices are key. Instead of full-fat cheese, try a sprinkle of nutritional yeast, which adds a savory, cheesy flavor without the fat. Use avocado as a creamy topping. It's rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats. And when cooking eggs, opt for steaming, boiling, or pan-searing with olive oil, instead of frying in butter. Remember, your heart and joints are asking for kindness, especially after age 60. Choosing the right foods now can help you move more freely, think more clearly, and live more vibrantly. In the first part of this video, we looked at food combinations that can turn eggs from a healthy option into a hidden health risk, especially for seniors. But here's the good news. When paired with the right ingredients, eggs can become a powerful tool to fight inflammation, protect your heart, and nourish your joints. Let's explore 5 superfoods that work in harmony with eggs to help you age stronger, move better, and feel lighter. 1. Bitter melon, the unsung hero for seniors when paired with eggs. Let me tell you a story. A few months ago, one of my patients, Mr. Tanaka, an 82-year-old retired schoolteacher, came in complaining of morning fatigue, stiff knees, and blood sugar levels that were creeping up despite a clean diet. "I eat eggs most mornings," he told me proudly, usually with white bread or fried rice. When I gently asked if he'd ever tried pairing eggs with bitter melon, he shook his head. "Too bitter," he said. And besides, I thought eggs were healthy on their own. That's when I explained a powerful truth. It's not just about eating good foods, it's about how those foods work together. And bitter melon, though tough to love at first bite, is one of the best partners eggs can have, especially for seniors. Why bitter melon? Bitter melon, also known as miop dang in Vietnamese, isn't just another vegetable. It's been used for generations in Asian and Ayurvedic medicine to lower blood sugar naturally, reduce inflammation, cool the liver and detoxify the body. When combined with eggs in a gentle stir-fry or a warming soup, bitter melon's bitter compounds stimulate digestion, help balance blood glucose levels, and cleanse the liver, all crucial functions for seniors over 60. And here's the fascinating part. Bitter melon contains polypeptide P, a plant insulin-like compound that helps regulate glucose metabolism. When eaten alongside eggs, which provide protein and B vitamins, this combo delivers stable energy without sugar spikes, a big win for seniors trying to avoid fatigue or blood sugar crashes after breakfast. From pain to power. When Mr. Tanaka took my advice and started adding bitter melon to his egg dishes twice a week, just lightly sautéed with garlic and olive oil, something changed. "My knees don't hurt as much when I wake up," he said with a smile 3 weeks later. "And I have more energy in the mornings." He didn't just feel better. His fasting blood sugar dropped by 12 points, his digestive discomfort improved, and he even lost a little belly fat without changing anything else. That's the quiet power of food synergy. How to prepare it. Uchiu. Yes, bitter melon is an acquired taste, but there are ways to reduce its bitterness. Slice it thin and soak in salt water for 10 minutes before cooking. Stir-fry with scrambled eggs, garlic, and a dash of sesame oil. Add to a light soup with eggs and ginger for a cooling, healing meal. Don't let the bitterness scare you off. As I often say to my patients, sometimes the most bitter foods carry the sweetest health benefits. So if you're a senior looking to protect your liver, lower inflammation, and support blood sugar balance, try giving bitter melon a chance. Especially when paired with eggs, it might become your body's favorite new friend. Up next, we'll explore another powerful partner, black fungus mushrooms, and why they may be the secret weapon for your heart and joints. 2. Black fungus mushrooms, the silent guardian of your heart and joints. Let me share another real story from my clinic. Mrs. Liu, a 76-year-old grandmother from San Francisco, came to see me after experiencing numbness in her fingers and swelling in her ankles. "My cholesterol is going up and my blood feels thick," she said. "My hands tingle when I sleep." Like many seniors, she had been eating well, plenty of eggs, lean protein, and vegetables. But when I asked if she included black fungus mushrooms in her diet, she looked puzzled. "You mean those dark, slippery mushrooms in Asian soups? I used to eat them back in Taiwan, but not anymore." That's when I encouraged her to bring them back, especially with eggs. Why black fungus? Also called wood ear mushrooms, black fungus is often overlooked, but it's a quiet powerhouse, especially for the aging body. It reduces cholesterol, particularly LDL, the bad kind. It contains natural compounds that thin the blood, helping prevent clots and improving circulation. It's high in antioxidants that protect your blood vessels, brain, and joints from oxidative stress. For seniors, that means a healthier heart, less joint inflammation, and improved blood flow, especially to the hands, feet, and brain. It's like a natural form of gentle cardiovascular support, hidden in a soft, earthy mushroom. How it works with eggs. When you combine black fungus with eggs, you get the perfect nutrient synergy. Eggs provide protein and choline for brain health. Black fungus supports the blood and vessels that carry those nutrients throughout the body. Together, they help maintain mental clarity, protect against memory loss, and keep your joints mobile and pain-free. Mrs. Liu followed my advice and began cooking a simple black fungus and egg soup twice a week, with a few slices of ginger and scallions. Within a month, her swelling had reduced, her cholesterol numbers improved, and her nighttime hand numbness disappeared. She came back and said, "Doctor, I didn't think something so simple could help this much. I feel lighter. My legs aren't as tired." Easy ways to prepare. Soak dried black fungus in water for 15 to 20 minutes until soft. Slice thinly and stir-fry with eggs, garlic, and a pinch of black pepper. Add to omelets, soups, or rice dishes. It blends easily and absorbs flavor beautifully. And the best part? It's inexpensive, shelf-stable, and available in almost every Asian grocery store. Sometimes the most healing foods are the ones we've forgotten. And black fungus mushrooms are a perfect example. Silent, humble, yet incredibly effective in helping seniors live stronger, longer lives. Coming up next, let's talk about a bright red favorite, tomatoes, and how they work wonders for your brain, heart, and digestion when cooked with eggs. 3. Tomatoes, the bright red superfruit that protects your heart and sharpens your mind. A few years ago, I met Mr. Rodriguez, a 79-year-old former chef who had recently suffered a mild stroke. When he came into my clinic, he told me something I'll never forget. I wish I'd known earlier that the food I loved could also have saved me. He wasn't talking about rare herbs or expensive supplements. He was talking about tomatoes. Why tomatoes? Tomatoes are one of the most underappreciated superfoods for seniors, especially when paired with eggs. They're rich in lycopene, a powerful antioxidant that reduces oxidative stress in the brain, protects the heart by lowering cholesterol and triglycerides, and fights inflammation, especially in the arteries and joints. But here's something many people don't know. Lycopene becomes more bioavailable when tomatoes are cooked, especially in the presence of healthy fats, like those found in eggs. So when you sauté tomatoes with eggs, you're not just making a delicious dish, you're unlocking a medicinal powerhouse for your heart, brain, and bones. The egg-tomato connection. Eggs contain choline, a vital nutrient for memory and nerve function. Tomatoes provide antioxidants that protect the brain from aging. When combined, you get a memory-boosting meal. You improve blood circulation to the brain, and you create a dish that helps prevent cognitive decline, especially in seniors over 70. Mr. Rodriguez started cooking a tomato and egg stir-fry every other day, with olive oil, scallions, and a touch of turmeric. It's simple, comforting, and it makes me feel alert, he told me months later. His follow-up scans showed improved blood flow to the brain, and he felt sharper, lighter, and more energetic. Gut health and digestion. Seniors often struggle with bloating, indigestion, or constipation. Tomatoes, rich in water and natural fiber, help lubricate the intestines, support bowel regularity, and reduce inflammation in the gut lining. This is especially important if you eat eggs frequently, which, while nutritious, can sometimes feel heavy on digestion. Tomatoes lighten the meal, stimulate digestive enzymes, and help the body absorb nutrients more efficiently. Simple ways to enjoy: sauté tomatoes with eggs and scallions for a soft, savory scramble. Add to omelets, frittatas, or rice dishes. Roast cherry tomatoes with olive oil and serve beside a boiled egg. Simmer tomatoes in broth with eggs and herbs for a soothing soup. Sometimes, healing doesn't require new medicine. It just takes a rediscovery of what's already in your kitchen. And when tomatoes and eggs come together, they don't just nourish the body, they defend it from aging. Next, we'll explore the humble kitchen herbs that make a big impact. Scallions and cilantro, tiny greens with powerful effects on your joints and digestion. 4. Scallions and cilantro, small greens that make a big difference for seniors. Sometimes the most powerful medicine isn't in pills or powders, it's in the little herbs growing right in your garden. Let me tell you about Mrs. Henderson, a gentle 84-year-old woman who had trouble digesting her meals. She often felt bloated after eating eggs and had recently lost her appetite. Her daughter, concerned about her nutrition, brought her in for a checkup. After a careful discussion about her meals, I asked one simple question. Do you cook with fresh herbs like scallions or cilantro? She blinked. I used to. I stopped because I didn't think they made a difference. Well, they do. And a big one, especially for seniors. Why scallions and cilantro? Let's break it down. Scallions, also known as green onions, are not just aromatic. They're packed with natural anti-inflammatory compounds and mild diuretics. That means they help reduce swelling in joints, support liver function, and ease digestion by stimulating the release of bile. Cilantro, on the other hand, is a detox powerhouse. It helps remove heavy metals from the body, supports the kidneys, and has calming effects on the digestive tract. Together, they enhance the absorption of egg nutrients, neutralize the fishy or sulfuric taste of eggs, and stimulate appetite, especially helpful for seniors who eat less as they age. How they help with eggs. When you sprinkle scallions or cilantro onto scrambled eggs, soups, or omelets, you're doing more than adding flavor. You're activating your digestion and giving your liver a gentle nudge to detox more efficiently. This is crucial for seniors whose digestive systems may slow with age. These herbs reduce post-meal bloating, help prevent indigestion and reflux, and may even reduce inflammation in joints and muscles. Mrs. Henderson started adding a handful of chopped scallions and cilantro to her morning eggs. Not only did her digestion improve, but her appetite returned. I didn't know I missed the smell of fresh herbs, she smiled. Now my breakfast feels like something to look forward to. Easy ways to use: stir into scrambled eggs right before serving sprinkle fresh over boiled or poached eggs. Add to egg drop soups or rice porridge with egg. Mix with garlic and olive oil for a vibrant herb sauce on the side. These herbs are not just garnishes, they're medicine in disguise. They brighten meals, enhance flavor without salt, and support multiple organ systems, especially the liver, joints, and stomach. As I often remind my older patients, your meals don't have to be boring to be healing. Sometimes, the smallest additions make the biggest difference. Coming up next, one of nature's most ancient remedies, fresh ginger, and why every senior should consider adding it to their egg-based meals. 5. Fresh ginger, the ancient root that warms your stomach and protects your joints. There's something timeless about ginger. For centuries, it's been a trusted remedy in Asian, Indian, and even Western herbal medicine. I still remember my grandmother, well into her 90s, starting every morning with a thin slice of fresh ginger steeped in warm water. She said it woke up the stomach and calmed the heart. As a doctor today, I can confidently tell you, she was absolutely right. And when paired with eggs, ginger becomes a powerful ally for seniors, supporting digestion, reducing inflammation, and enhancing circulation. Why fresh ginger? Ginger is well known for its anti-inflammatory, anti-nausea, and warming properties. But for seniors, it provides even more specific benefits. Stimulates digestion, especially when the stomach becomes slower with age, reduces gas, bloating, and discomfort, which many older adults feel after eating eggs. Promotes circulation, helping bring warmth to cold hands and feet. Supports joint health by lowering chronic inflammation markers like CRP. Ginger also contains compounds like gingerol and shogal, which have been shown in studies to improve blood sugar control, reduce arthritic pain, and even protect the brain against age-related decline. Why it pairs perfectly with eggs. Let's face it, eggs, while healthy, can feel heavy, especially when fried or combined with other rich ingredients. Seniors often complain of indigestion, gas, or fullness after eating them. Adding ginger lightens the digestive burden, encourages the stomach to empty more efficiently, and helps the liver process fats and cholesterol from the yolk. I had a patient, Mr. Park, age 81, who used to avoid eggs altogether because they made him feel bloated and sleepy. I suggested he try grating a little fresh ginger into his scrambled eggs and adding a ginger tea to his meal. After 2 weeks, he returned with good news. "Doctor, I'm eating eggs again, and I feel better than ever." Easy ways to use ginger with eggs. Grate a small amount of fresh ginger into scrambled eggs or omelets. Add thin slices to egg soup or porridge. Stir fry with eggs and vegetables like bitter melon or black fungus. Sip a cup of warm ginger tea with your meal. Just a teaspoon of fresh ginger is enough to boost digestion and comfort the body. As we age, it's not just about what we eat. It's about how those foods make us feel. Fresh ginger doesn't just help your stomach. It warms your blood, soothes your joints, and helps every part of your body function a little more smoothly. So the next time you reach for an egg, think of ginger, not as a spice, but as a caring companion for your health. 3 egg cooking mistakes seniors should avoid, and what to do instead. We've covered a lot in this video, from dangerous food combinations to the powerful benefits of smart pairings with eggs. But even with the healthiest ingredients, the way you cook your eggs matters just as much, especially for seniors. I've seen many older patients unintentionally sabotage the health benefits of their meals with a few simple cooking mistakes. Let's walk through the 3 most common errors and how to fix them. Mistake 1: overcooking or frying eggs in butter or lard, a tasty habit that may be harming your heart. Not long ago, I had a patient named Mr. Harris, an 85-year-old retired carpenter who came into my clinic with rising cholesterol and nagging joint pain in his knees. "I eat pretty healthy," he said confidently. "Every morning I make myself 2 fried eggs, crispy edges, cooked in real butter, just like my mama used to make." He smiled proudly as he described the crackling sound of the butter hitting the hot pan, the golden yolks firm to perfection. "Doctor," he added, "I've been doing this for 50 years. It's my comfort food. And I get it. That smell, that sizzle, it's nostalgic, familiar, and satisfying." But then I gently showed him what 50 years of that routine might be doing inside his body. What really happens when you fry eggs in butter or lard. When you cook eggs over high heat, especially in saturated fats like butter, lard, or margarine, you're not just adding calories. You're changing the structure of the egg's cholesterol, turning it into something far more dangerous. Overheating egg yolks can cause oxidation, forming oxidized cholesterol, a substance known to damage the walls of your arteries, promote plaque buildup, trigger inflammation that worsens arthritis, heart disease, and even memory loss. Meanwhile, saturated fats from butter or lard further raise your LDL cholesterol, strain your liver and gallbladder, and may cause chronic fatigue over time. So that delicious breakfast, it might be silently contributing to heart stiffness, sore joints, and afternoon crashes, especially in seniors whose bodies are less efficient at clearing fats. Mr. Harris's turning point. I gave Mr. Harris a challenge. Try switching to soft-boiled or gently scrambled eggs. Just for 1 week. Use a teaspoon of olive oil instead of butter and cook on low heat. He looked skeptical but agreed. 2 weeks later, he returned. "Doc," he said, "I thought breakfast wouldn't taste the same. But you know what? I feel lighter. My stomach's not heavy anymore. And I'm not so tired after eating." His blood pressure dropped. His cholesterol improved. And, most importantly, his energy came back. A healthier way to cook eggs. If you love eggs, as many seniors do, here are some simple cooking tips. Boil or steam your eggs, gentle and heart-friendly. Scramble them with olive oil or avocado oil on low heat. If frying, use a non-stick pan and avoid burning the edges. Pair them with vegetables or herbs to support digestion and balance the meal. You don't need to give up eggs, just change how you treat them. As I always tell my patients, it's not just what you eat, but how you cook it that makes all the difference. So let's leave the crackling butter behind and cook with care, warmth, and wisdom for a longer, healthier life. Mistake 2: skipping the vegetables, the missed opportunity in every egg meal. Mrs. Young, a soft-spoken 79-year-old grandmother from Seattle, came to see me for her annual checkup. She was slim, active, and had a warm smile, but she'd recently noticed something troubling. "Dr. Kim, I don't feel quite right after breakfast anymore," she said. "I usually eat eggs with toast or rice, but I feel sluggish, like something's missing." Her labs showed borderline cholesterol and early signs of nutrient deficiencies, particularly in antioxidants and fiber. She didn't eat junk food. She wasn't overeating. But as we talked through her daily meals, the problem became clear. She was skipping vegetables. Especially in the morning, why this matters more than you think, eggs are nutritious. They offer high-quality protein, B vitamins, and healthy fats. But when they're eaten alone, especially with simple carbs like white bread or rice, they lack something vital for older adults: fiber to support digestion and regulate blood sugar, antioxidants to fight inflammation, and aging micronutrients like vitamin C, potassium, and magnesium that are missing from eggs alone. And that's where vegetables come in. What happens when you leave out the veggies? Without vegetables, an egg-heavy meal can spike your blood sugar, especially when eaten with bread or rice, cause sluggish digestion, leading to bloating or constipation, contribute to cholesterol buildup because you're missing the plant compounds that help clear fat from your system, and over time, leave you deficient in key nutrients that protect your eyes, joints, and brain. For seniors, these are not small things. They're the building blocks of energy, memory, and longevity. A small addition that makes a big difference. I asked Mrs. Young to try something new for 2 weeks. Add tomatoes to her scrambled eggs, rich in lycopene. Stir in some scallions and cilantro, great for digestion. Occasionally, cook with bitter melon or mushrooms for blood sugar and heart benefits. She emailed me a week later with a cheerful note. "I never realized how much flavor I was missing. I feel more awake after breakfast now, and my stomach feels lighter." And at her 3-month follow-up, her cholesterol was down, her digestion had improved, and she'd even gained back a bit of the muscle she'd lost. All by adding a few colorful vegetables to her eggs. Easy ways to include vegetables in your egg meals. Stir-fry tomatoes, spinach, or bell peppers with your eggs. Add mushrooms or bitter melon to soups or rice porridge with egg. With eggs, sprinkle fresh herbs like cilantro, scallions, or basil. Use shredded carrots or zucchini in omelets. Even a spoonful of kimchi or pickled vegetables can help. So the next time you crack an egg, ask yourself, where's the color? Where's the life in this meal? Eggs are wonderful, but they were never meant to be lonely on your plate. Let's give them the companions they deserve and give your body the nutrients it needs to thrive. Mistake 3, eating the same style of eggs. Every day, when routine becomes a risk. One morning, Mr. Caldwell, a sprightly 81-year-old with a sharp sense of humor, sat down in my office for his routine checkup. He was in good spirits, but his lab results showed something unusual: rising food sensitivities, mild indigestion, and unexplained fatigue after breakfast. When I asked him what he usually ate in the morning, he chuckled. "Dr. Kim, I've had the same breakfast for 40 years. 2 hard-boiled eggs, a slice of toast, and a cup of black coffee. Like clockwork." Now, there's nothing wrong with boiled eggs. In fact, they're one of the healthiest ways to enjoy eggs. But eating the same preparation, day in and day out, can actually work against your body, especially as you age. The hidden risks of repetition. As comforting as routines may be, our bodies, particularly as we get older, benefit from variety. Here's why. Digestive fatigue. Repeatedly eating the same food in the same form may dull the body's digestive enzymes, making it harder to break down nutrients efficiently. Mild food sensitivity. Over time, your immune system can begin reacting to overexposure to a single food, leading to low-grade inflammation, bloating, or fatigue. Nutrient gaps. Different cooking methods unlock different nutrients. For example, boiled eggs retain certain vitamins, while scrambled eggs with vegetables deliver fiber and antioxidants that boiled eggs alone cannot provide. Taste fatigue. Eating the same thing daily can lead to loss of appetite and boredom. 2 common challenges for seniors. Mr. Caldwell's small shift, big results. I recommended a gentle 7-day challenge for him. Day 1, scrambled eggs with spinach and scallions. Day 2, egg drop soup with mushrooms and ginger. Day 3, steamed egg custard with tomato. Day 4, poached eggs on sautéed bitter melon. Day 5, boiled eggs with sliced avocado and cilantro. Day 6, omelet with bell peppers and garlic. Day 7, rest day. Try a smoothie or oats for a break. He returned the following month, smiling wide. Doctor, I never thought eggs could taste so different. I actually look forward to breakfast again. And no more stomach troubles. Axios, how to add variety without extra effort. Change the cooking style. Try poaching, steaming, scrambling, or baking eggs in muffins with vegetables. Rotate flavors. Use herbs like dill, basil, or chives one day, ginger and garlic the next. Pair with different side dishes, brown rice, sautéed greens, or even a slice of sweet potato. Give eggs a break once or twice a week. Swap in yogurt, oatmeal, or a smoothie to rest your digestion. As I always remind my patients, your body loves rhythm, but it also needs diversity. Even a small shift, like changing how you prepare your eggs, can reignite your digestion, enhance your energy, and protect your health. At Dr. Kim's home clinic, I always remind my senior patients, eggs are a gift from nature, but only when used wisely. After decades of treating patients over 60, I've seen one thing time and time again. How you eat your eggs can either protect your heart, joints, and brain, or quietly harm them. So today, let me share with you the 4 golden rules I give all my patients when it comes to eating eggs in their golden years. Rule number 1, no more than 1 egg yolk per day, a small change that saved Mr. Tom's heart. At first glance, Mr. Tom didn't look like someone with a heart problem. At 74, he still played golf twice a week, did light gardening, and swore by his daily breakfast ritual. 4 eggs every single morning, Doc, scrambled in a bit of butter. That's my power meal. He had been eating this way for decades. To him, it was tradition, strength, and comfort, all rolled into one plate. But during a routine checkup, his blood work told a different story. His LDL cholesterol was rising steadily. He had developed mild hypertension, and he admitted to feeling tightness in his chest when climbing stairs. When I explained the role of dietary cholesterol, especially in aging bodies, he looked genuinely surprised. But I thought eggs were healthy. And yes, they are. But as I explained to Mr. Tom, it's all about balance, especially for seniors. Why just 1 yolk? Egg yolks are indeed full of valuable nutrients, like choline for the brain, vitamin D for bones, and lutein for the eyes. But they also carry a significant load of dietary cholesterol and saturated fat. For seniors, whose arteries may already be stiff or partially blocked due to age-related changes, eating multiple yolks daily can accelerate plaque buildup, leading to heart attacks, strokes, or worsening blood pressure. What most people don't realize is this. 1 large egg yolk contains roughly 186 milligrams of cholesterol, nearly the full recommended daily limit for adults with heart disease or diabetes, the better alternative. I recommended a simple shift: 1 egg yolk to keep the flavor and nutrition, 2 or 3 egg whites to boost protein without the extra cholesterol, and cook using olive oil, not butter or lard. This combination provides high-quality lean protein, brain-boosting choline from the yolk, and less strain on the heart and arteries. Mr. Tom was hesitant at first. Won't that taste bland? But he gave it a shot. 3 months later, Mr. Tom returned to my clinic with a grin. His blood pressure was lower, cholesterol numbers were back in range, and he reported more energy and better stamina on the golf course. You were right, Doc. I don't even miss the extra yolks. And now I use scallions and tomatoes. Gives it flavor without guilt. All it took was 1 small adjustment to turn a potentially dangerous breakfast into a healing one. Dr. Kim's final tip. If you're over 60, especially with a history of heart disease or diabetes, stick to 1 yolk per day. Combine it with 2 to 3 whites for a satisfying, heart-friendly meal. Better cholesterol control and a lighter feeling in your body all day long, because sometimes it's not about giving up what you love, it's about loving your body enough to tweak the recipe. Rule No. 2. Avoid eating eggs at night, a heavy meal that could steal your sleep. Mrs. Alvarez, an 82-year-old retired schoolteacher, had always considered herself a night owl. She'd often eat late dinners, sometimes around 8:30 or even 9 p.m. Her go-to evening comfort meal? A warm egg sandwich or a quick fried egg on rice. Eggs are light and easy, she told me during one of our checkups, and I sleep better with something in my stomach. But then came the complaints. She started waking up at 2 or 3 in the morning with acid reflux, a racing heartbeat, and a strange restlessness. She couldn't sleep deeply anymore and began feeling groggy during the day. She blamed it on age. Just old bones and bad dreams, she said. But I suspected something simpler. Mrs. Alvarez, I asked, what time are you eating your eggs? When she told me, 9 p.m., I gently explained that eating eggs too late may be the real reason she couldn't sleep. Why? Eggs at night may disrupt sleep. Eggs are high in protein, which is great for building muscle and maintaining energy, but they also contain choline and tyrosine, compounds that stimulate brain activity and increase alertness. At night, when the body is trying to slow down, digest, and shift into sleep mode, these nutrients can trigger wakefulness, restlessness, and even indigestion. Plus, for seniors, digestion naturally slows after sunset. The liver, pancreas, and stomach don't work as efficiently at night, meaning that a protein-heavy meal like eggs sits longer in the stomach. Increases acid production and can trigger reflux, gas, or discomfort, especially when lying down. The science of timing studies have shown that eating protein-rich meals late at night may disrupt melatonin production, your natural sleep hormone, increase nighttime body temperature, and reduce the quality of REM sleep, the deep restorative phase that protects your memory and mood. That's why I recommend to my senior patients, make eggs a morning hero, not a nighttime intruder. Mrs. Alvarez's turnaround. At my suggestion, Mrs. Alvarez moved her egg meals to breakfast, scrambled with tomatoes and herbs around 8 a.m. In the evening, she switched to a lighter dinner like vegetable soup, oatmeal, or yogurt. After just 1 week, she was sleeping through the night. I didn't realize how heavy eggs could feel at night, she told me. Now I wake up refreshed, and even my heartburn is gone. Dr. Kim's practical tip. Eat eggs before 11 a.m. when your digestion is strongest. Avoid egg dishes after 6 p.m., especially if you're prone to acid reflux or poor sleep. Choose light, easily digestible foods for dinner, soups, steamed vegetables, or herbal tea. A good night's sleep is more valuable than any supplement. By making this simple shift, you can enjoy your eggs and protect your heart, stomach, and rest. Rule No. 3. Always pair eggs with anti-inflammatory vegetables or herbs. Let nature balance the meal. When I first met Mrs. Liu, an 80-year-old retired seamstress, she came in complaining of frequent bloating and heaviness after breakfast. I love eggs, she told me, but lately they don't love me back. Her daily meal was simple, 2 boiled eggs with a slice of white toast. She said it kept her full, but she often felt sluggish by mid-morning and occasionally had discomfort in her lower belly. Nothing serious, she said, just a bit uncomfortable. But as I looked deeper, I realized the issue wasn't the eggs. It was what was missing from her plate. Why eggs alone aren't always ideal. Eggs are dense in protein and fat. That's why they're filling. But when eaten without balance, they can slow digestion, create heat or inflammation in the stomach, and place strain on the liver, especially in older adults. That's where vegetables and herbs step in, as nature's gentle correctors. The power of anti-inflammatory foods. Here's what I often recommend to my senior patients. Tomatoes, rich in lycopene, which protects the heart and reduces inflammation. Black fungus, wood ear mushrooms, improves circulation, lowers cholesterol, and supports joint health. Bitter melon, balances blood sugar, reduces body heat, and cools the liver. scallions and cilantro. Boost digestion, reduce bloating, and neutralize the egg's strong scent. Fresh ginger warms the stomach, eases bloating, and enhances circulation. These are not just flavor enhancers, they're healing companions for your eggs. Mrs. Lou's transformation. I suggested a small change. Try adding stir-fried tomatoes and scallions to your eggs, or make a soup with eggs, black fungus, and a slice of ginger. She was hesitant at first. Won't that take too long? But gave it a try with the help of her daughter. 2 weeks later, she came back glowing. I feel lighter. I'm not bloated anymore, and my breakfast actually tastes better. Her bowel movements became more regular. Her energy lasted longer throughout the day, and the discomfort? Gone. Quick ways to add healing ingredients. Toss diced tomatoes and ginger into scrambled eggs. Stir-fry bitter melon and eggs with garlic. Make egg drop soup with black fungus and scallions. Sprinkle cilantro or chopped herbs over a soft-boiled egg. Brew a cup of ginger tea to sip alongside your breakfast. Even a small pinch of herbs or a spoonful of vegetables makes a big difference. Dr. Kim's final thought: eggs are powerful, but they need partners to help the body process them gently. Especially for seniors, balance is everything. So the next time you cook an egg, ask yourself, what can I add to help my body digest this better? Let the garden come to your table and watch how much better you feel. Rule number 4, rotate your egg recipes weekly. Variety that nourishes body and spirit. Mr. Peterson was one of my most disciplined patients. At 76, he woke up at 6 a.m. every morning, went for a walk, and sat down to the exact same breakfast: 2 hard-boiled eggs and a banana. Every single day. Why change what works? He asked, smiling. It's simple, quick, and fills me up. But over time, he began noticing little things: a sluggish stomach, less appetite for lunch, and occasional discomfort after eating. He also said he no longer enjoyed breakfast the way he used to. It's like chewing the same thing over and over again. My taste buds are bored, he joked. I smiled and said, Mr. Peterson, your body might be bored too. Why repetition isn't always healthy. As we age, our digestion becomes more sensitive, and our nutrient absorption slows. When we eat the same food, cooked the same way, day after day, the gut may become less efficient at breaking it down. We may miss out on important vitamins and minerals from other foods. An overexposure to one ingredient can trigger mild sensitivities or inflammation. In Mr. Peterson's case, it wasn't the eggs that were the issue, it was the lack of variety. Your body needs rotation, not just routine. Different egg preparations affect digestion in different ways. Boiled eggs are clean and simple, but harder on the stomach if eaten every day without fiber. Scrambled eggs with vegetables offer antioxidants and fiber to ease digestion. Steamed egg custard is soft, warm, and easy on aging digestive systems. Egg drop soups hydrate and warm the gut, perfect for colder mornings or tired stomachs. Rotation helps the body reset, refresh, and remain engaged with food, which is especially important for maintaining appetite and joy in eating as we grow older. Mr. Peterson's new breakfast plan. We created a weekly egg routine that looked like this. Monday, scrambled eggs with tomatoes and scallions. Tuesday, boiled egg with a slice of avocado and whole grain toast. Wednesday, egg drop soup with mushrooms and ginger. Thursday, steamed egg custard with chopped cilantro. Friday, stir-fried bitter melon and egg with garlic. Saturday, poached egg over sautéed spinach. Sunday, non-egg day, oatmeal with berries or yogurt. After 3 weeks, he came back brighter, more energetic, and with better digestion. My stomach feels lighter, he said. And breakfast tastes exciting again. Dr. Kim's final tip. Even healthy food can become unhealthy when repeated without change. Variety not only protects your gut and immune system, it brings pleasure and freshness back to your plate. So rotate your eggs. Get creative. Try new textures and flavors. Because when meals bring joy, health always follows. If you've made one or more of these egg mistakes in the past, don't worry. The good news is that your body is incredibly resilient, especially when we support it with small, smart changes. Eggs can be a wonderful source of nutrition, but they're not magic by themselves. When paired with healing herbs, eaten at the right time, and prepared with love and wisdom, eggs become more than food. They become medicine for your joints, memory, and longevity. So starting tomorrow morning, don't just eat eggs, eat them wisely. Support our channel. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking, subscribing, and sharing it with friends and loved ones, especially those over 60 who may benefit from these simple but life-changing tips. Your support helps us continue making trusted, science-based health advice for seniors around the world. Thank you for being part of the Dr. Kim's Home Clinic family. Stay healthy, stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.